He's hugging me. He's hugging me. Dad, grab my phone. I don't want to move. Dad?
You wrote Peacemaker within 8 weeks during quarantine. Could you elaborate on how the process went? Did you pitch it while you were filming the Suicide Squad, or was it after that?
It was after. I was editing Suicide Squad, and in fact, Suicide Squad was mostly edited by that time. So right as we quit shooting Suicide Squad in March of 2 years ago. I came home. I was home for a couple of days, and we had to go into lockdown over the pandemic. So during the pandemic, I edited, and that kept my mind off of everything working on the Suicide Squad. But that started to slow down, and I had nothing to do, and I was trapped at home with my miserable thoughts. So I started writing Peacemaker basically to give myself a distraction, give myself something to do. And I set a goal for myself to write one episode a week so that I could have it done. And while I was writing it is really when I went and pitched it to HBO Max, and they said that they wanted to do the show.
Hey, there's something weird going on. You think me and Vigilante are too stupid to notice?
Hey, everyone, which one's me and which one's Eagly?
Okay, you're half right, but you score 50% on the test at school. What do you get? A D.
One of my favorite moments in this show is when Christopher, Peacemaker, he just rapid fires a list of real world names that John Economos should have used. I won't spoil why, but were there any names that you couldn't use in that scene?
I will tell you, we used the name of somebody who, if you watch, he lists some names in the show, and in the end credits, we have him listing more names. And in the end credits, he listed the name of somebody who just died. And I was like, oh, so that was actually the last edit we made on the show, was he took out the name of somebody who died because it seemed weird. But that was that moment was not in the script. In the script, he says, Peacemaker says, why didn't you just, blame, you named Ariana Grande Drake. Or Drake or Brad Pitt or some piece of shit. Yep. And it was just those three names. And then I just started, saying, John, say as many names as you can. And then John is saying all these names. Other people are throwing in other names. I'm on the mic throwing in other names. And he just kept going and going and going and going. And I really just thought it was going to be for the bit at the, we have a little piece at the end of every credits. And I really thought it was going to be for that. But I thought it was so funny when I cut it together that I wanted to keep it in. And my favorite part, John, is you haven't even seen it.
I haven't even seen it yet.
Tell it to my dad, at the very end of it, that bit.
So hilarious.
Try telling that to my dad. But I love that bit. People love it.
Who's the guy that's peeking out behind the trash can?
Vigilante's trying to be helpful.
So you and Vigilante, who is played by Freddie Stroma, have this wonderful dynamic within the show. Funny thing is, Vigilante is he idolizes Peacemaker so much, but Peacemaker is still trying to find himself in the world. What was fun for you about exploring this sort of dynamic with Freddie? Yeah.
Oh, I think any sort of dynamic, and it's kind of a weird, how Peacemaker looks at his dad. His dad isn't by any means a redeemable character, but there must have been something about the relationship with his father, whether it's his abilities or whatever, that made Peacemaker want his father's approval. And I think it's weird that he's now put in the role of Vigilante, constantly wanting Peacemaker's approval. It's weird. You get to see Peacemaker on both sides of that fence, wanting to get his father's approval, and then kind of swatting away the guy who says, we're best friends, aren't we? Get out of here, kid. You bother me. I think it's really cool to see that dynamic, and you get to see both sides of that in Peacemaker.
There's something about him that's sad.
Hey, Dad.
How did my sperm go into a Nancy boy like you?
No, lately I'm just thinking maniac.
Hey, no! That's because we're born killers. What separates us from other killers is we only kill bad people. Usually. unless there's a mistake.
You use being a jerk as a way to push people away.
You suck at PowerPoint.
But if you would just drop that, people actually might like you.
Oh my God. He's hugging me. He's hugging me. Dad, grab my phone. I don't want to move. Dad?